Hello there. Eddie Mercado here with BloodyElbow.com. And today I will be speaking with the 9-2 Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman as he is headed to UFC 108 in Nashville, Tennessee to take on Michael McBride in the lightweight division. So let's give Hot Sauce a call and find out what he's been up to since his last fight at UFC Sacktown. Find out his thoughts on another home game in Tennessee, and maybe what he has in store for his opponent, Michael McBride. Mr. Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking out the time.
You're looking good, man. You're looking good.
I appreciate it, man. You're not looking so bad yourself.
Yeah, I got a nice black eye today.
Oh, nice.
Something.
I trust it was well earned.
It was. Perks of the job. 3 hard rounds today.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sure it'll be all healed up by the time you actually step in there on the 22nd. But how are things, man? How have you been since your last fight?
Good, man. Good. This one kind of a quick turnaround, but not too bad. Every 3-4 months is kind of good for the fighting world. You know, the UFC seems to keep me busy. Whether I guess they like me, I don't know, or I'm exciting, I'm not sure. But some guys only fight once, twice a year. They're putting me in there whenever I want. So this Tennessee card, I had to be on it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a mixture of both. I mean, you're definitely putting on performances. It's already your 5th UFC fight. Now, when you first came into the organization, was there ever a moment when you were kind of maybe starstruck or, saw some like MMA royalty and you're like, oh my God, it's like so-and-so?
Yeah, I think so. I think in the beginning, I had been with Benson and a few other guys I had cornered in the UFC some, so I kind of knew what to expect. I'd seen it. I'd seen how it all worked and everything. So I wasn't too surprised when I got there, but it was a little weird. I think the biggest thing for me is when you're watching the pay-per-view and you're like, holy shit, this is going to be me, not on pay-per-view yet, but you're like, this is going to be me on TV in a couple weeks. This is, it's weird, man. It's a weird feeling, but, it's been a hell of a ride so far, man.
Yeah, your last fight, network television, you're on Fox, UFC on Fox 22, crazy war with Josh Emmett. I mean, both of you guys really showed up for that one. It was so back and forth and really hard to judge. And what were your thoughts on your performance in that?
I thought, obviously I made some mistakes, and 1 or 2 mistakes can lose you a fight in the UFC. I think, the first round, he didn't touch me. He put me on my butt, twice, but that was it. I popped right back up. He had 2 little brief takedowns, maybe caught a kick on one, but in the second, he didn't really hurt me or challenge me. I didn't think he felt strong either. So, the second round, I was like, all right, this is his hometown. This is his crowd. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to come out and bust his ass right here, and really take the fight to him. So I got a little emotional. I started staying in the pocket a little too long, gave him some of the things he needed to score points, start headhunting a little bit. But if I just fight smart like I did in the first round and pick my spots and move in and out, I dust him all 3 rounds. I win 30-27, but got a little emotional, I think a little tense, so got worn down a little bit, and he scored a couple takedowns when he needed it and got a knockdown there in the third. So he edged me out. I thought it was 1-1 going into the third. He edged me out in the third, so I didn't have any problem with the decision, but learned some good lessons from the fight. So, but one of the things I did learn was, I'm always coming to fight. So I know that's going to be there.
Do you think maybe, it was a unanimous decision, and even the announcer thought it was going to be a split decision. Do you think he got a little bit of some home cooking in the judge's decision?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the thing that did play into the fight, and obviously a lot of people thought we got fight of the night. I thought we should have had it too. Um, I think what did play into the decision was the fact that he had a lot of fans there. He's a popular guy in that area. Obviously, it's his hometown. Well, the times when I was winning the exchanges or winning the fight, the place was dead silent. And then when he would do something, pretty good, they'd all cheer. So I think that plays into the judges too. He would throw some weird flying knee that wouldn't come close to me, and the crowd would go crazy. And I'm like, what? That didn't even come close to hitting me. What's everybody cheering for? So I think that plays into the judges for sure. But whether he got some home cooking, I don't know. I think he edged me out, but not by much, man. Not by much. And he ended up in the hospital after, not me.
Yeah, and like you're saying about Fight of the Night, I thought it was Fight of the Night. I actually spoke with Josh Emmett recently before his upcoming fight, and he said that Dana White even called him saying that Dana White thought it was Fight of the Night as well, but got outvoted.
Yeah, I guess they do like a little round table, good old boys voting system. Dana and Sean Shelby and now Mick Maynard, and I don't think Joe Silva would have been involved. Well, Joe Silva was involved in that, so they had 4 guys because he was still there in December. And I guess Dana voted for Josh and I, and then the other 3 guys voted for the girls. And I think the girls won it because the crowd wasn't really vested in that fight. I think Leslie Smith may be from out at the Bay Area, but like I said, our fight, when I was beating Josh up, they weren't cheering. The place was silent. But with the girls, they stood up and cheered the whole time, because it was a neutral crowd. So, like I said, I think fan interaction can play into judging. It can play into, obviously Fight of the Night too. But I needed that money, man.
Yeah, I understand. I definitely understand. Well, now you're headed back to Tennessee, another home game, if you will. So the crowd should definitely be a little more favoring you when you're beating up your opponent. Do you prefer fighting in Tennessee, or does it not really matter where you get it in at?
I think every fight is a chance to, recreate yourself. So going into hostile territory, I guess if you want to call it that, Sacramento was a good thing for me. You always wonder, hey, how am I going to respond if guys boo me, or if I'm in Brazil and the whole crowd's against me, or in Sacramento and the crowd hates me. But I didn't take any steps backwards in that fight. I kept coming forward, and so I know how I responded, as a fighter. So I'm undefeated in Tennessee, man. I've never been beat there, and I don't plan on doing that. So there's always a little extra motivation, for all my friends and family will be in the crowd, just like all his were last time. So I'll be looking to put on a show, man.
Okay. Do you think you'll head out a little early, maybe, to go visit some people or anything like that?
No, I don't want to see anybody before the fight. I want to see them all after. But I'm going home. I'll break out of camp next Saturday, and then I'll fly home immediately after the last sparring session or last fight simulation. And I'll get home Saturday night and spend Sunday, Monday at home, and then drive over to Nashville. It's only 2.5 hours, so it'll be good to be home for a couple days and rest and relax at home.
Okay. Now, what are your thoughts on your opponent, Michael McBride? He's 8-2 overall. Kind of had a rough debut in the UFC. It was super short notice, so maybe it's not quite an accurate depiction of his skills. He got taken out by Nick Lentz, TKO. What are your thoughts on the guy?
Yeah, I think the fight was on 9 days' notice, so 9 days is not nearly enough to get in any kind of shape for a UFC fight. So it's hard to judge that, man. And I know Nick Lentz, I think he's 5'5". He's a troll pretty much, but he grapples pretty well and he wrestles. He's sloppy on the feet, but and McBride gave him some trouble in the grappling, so you definitely can't underestimate his grappling. And on the feet, he's tall and his arms are 6 feet long each, so you got to be careful, man. Sometimes that awkwardness makes things hard. I'm definitely expecting some awkward moments in the fight, especially on the feet. I just have to pay attention. I have to stay fundamentally sound, especially on the ground. And on the feet, I should land with some good volume and should lump him up, but just have to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure about the awkwardness. I think he actually might have dropped Nick Lentz at one point in their fight with just a awkward looping like arm hook. But it can be effective.
That's the problem too with the small gloves and those tall guys. They rely mostly on catching guys coming in, rushing in, trying to get inside their range. So you get hit in the back of the head and things like that. So you got to be careful. And he's going to be coming with those little step back hooks, and you got to be watch getting hit in the back of the head, with those small gloves. So anything can happen in a fight. It's 50-50. I'm not underestimating him one bit. But I'm going in there with my foot on the gas. That's for damn sure.
Now, when he's throwing his punches, I mean, he kind of leaves his chin, right there for the taking. How are you going to prevent the urge to headhunt?
That's going to be hard for me, man. I would say that's one of my biggest downfalls. I just want to get to people and hit them in the face, whatever the cost may be for me. But, I think there's certain things I'm working on, especially footwork and using my feet to enter properly into the danger zone. So that's all. I'll have to be a disciplined striker, a little more disciplined than him. It's going to be awkward. He's going to be hard to hit. He'll be long. He'll be leaning back. His chin will be up. But I have to be disciplined. I have to stay patient and start lighting him up or work around, in other areas and open him up.
How's training camp going thus far? You're at the MMA lab right now?
Yeah. It's going good, man. I'm tired of it, though. I'm at the point now where I'm over that shit, man. I'm just ready to go get in a fight. I think once you do so much work, you're like, man, I'm just ready to beat somebody up for this. This is too much. But it's been going good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm in good shape. I think I'm peaking at the right time. I always tend to overtrain. I work hard. I'm a blue collar worker, really. I put in a lot of volume, but I think this time I've done a good job of building up and think I'm about to peak on the 22nd.
You got a prediction? How do you see it playing out?
No, I don't have a prediction. I know that I want to finish. I need to finish. But, in the past, I've tried to force it a little bit. This time I'm not going to force it. This fight's really more about me. I just want to put together a good performance. I want to be solid in all areas. I want to be solid in striking, solid in wrestling, solid in grappling. And if, I'm a skilled dude. If I'm solid in all those areas, I'll get a finish or, I'll put him away. He'll go to bed either way. So, this fight's more about me, really.
Okay. Now, what would be next for Hot Sauce? This is your 5th fight. Does that put you on your 2nd UFC contract?
Well, I'm on my 2nd now, so I re-signed after 3 fights. So this is the second fight on my 2nd contract. So no, I don't think I'll be up for a new contract. But I'll definitely be looking for a higher tier opponent. I got some guys in mind, but you don't want to get ahead of yourself. I need this win first. This is a big win. Back's against the wall. That's how I'm treating it. Okay. Lose, your job's not safe. So back's against the wall. But I got some ideas. We'll see when I get on that microphone. Who knows what's going to happen?
Hey, it seems to be the way to go.
Yeah.
They seem to be pushing for guys to want to call each other out and kind of pick their own fights, if you will.
That's what they do, man. They want you to they try to give you hints on what to say and things like that. They tell you to get on there and call guys out. They don't care if it's Santa Claus, man. They just want you to say a name. I can say, hey, I want Bigfoot next fight. And I'm like, all right, hell yeah. Let's line up Bigfoot. Wait a minute, who's Bigfoot? Yeah. So,
Would that be Bigfoot Silva?
All right.
Well, who are your sponsors? Who are the people that are helping you out for this one?
Yeah, Ogle Elrod Burrill Law Office. They've been with me since the beginning. Helped me through some rough times early on, man. Hard Knocks Pizza, On It, 3 Fuel, and 3 Carb. My boy Andy Galpin just had a new podcast come out, The Body of Knowledge. Check it out. He's a sports physio guy. Runs the whole department at Cal State Fullerton. So I'm excited about that. That dude's so smart, man. He's been helping me. The health shop in Knoxville, Premier Fitness Systems, my boy Brandon Harris, MMA Lab, and Shield Systems.
I dig it.
Yeah.
How can people follow you on your journey? What are your social media outlets?
At Hot Sauce Holtzy. I'm on there, man. There's a couple other wannabe hot sauces out there, but if you just type in at Hot Sauce, I'm gonna come up, man. I'm the one. Everybody else is trying to fake it.
You can't fake the funk.
Well, can't fake the sauce, baby.
Well, Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman, thank you so much for taking out the time. Michael McBride is in your crosshairs. UFC Fight Night 108, April 22nd. Best of luck to you, sir.
Hey, thanks a lot, Eddie. I appreciate you having me on, man. It's good to talk to you again.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Stay in touch. So there you have it. Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman set to take on Michael McBride at UFC Fight Night 108. That's going down on April 22nd in Nashville, Tennessee. Go check it out. In the meantime, you can read me over at bloodyelbow.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @Mercado. If you like this interview, you can subscribe to my channel right here. Subscribe to Bloody Elbow's YouTube channel right here. Check out these interviews. I don't know, maybe go be a good person.